Okay guys, well here we go. I managed to get all those blocks in. It worked out really well. Now it kind of looks like that's maybe a little complicated. It's not. Once you find the angle, all the pieces, you can cut them all in 5 minutes. Because the angle doesn't change, right? The only thing that changes is the length. This angle is the same as this angle, right? Just get longer. I placed them on the sides of where you weld. Okay. Remember my string? I keep that string in the middle. Let me show you here. I stuffed little pieces of wood here just to hold the string off the pipe, because I don't want it touching the pipe, otherwise it'll give me a false reading. So these blocks are cut into pairs. You have left and right. They're absolutely identical. I went as far as marking them with a knife, just so I'd had that perfect crisp edge to cut on a miter box. So I just started cutting pairs. I took a measurement from here to here, figured it was, close enough to the weld. You can a little adjusting, but once this goes in, I guarantee this one here is perfect. If you were to measure from this braid, and that's really what you have to do, you know that this was installed perpendicular, so if you measure from here to here, it's the same as here to here. It has to be. It's just how angles work. Well, once you have that, you can throw a level on it, and remember this distance, as long as this distance on this side is identical to here, you know your level is going to read right. If it's crooked, obviously you'll never get a good reading. But if it's straight, which it is, I just kept leveling this whole thing. I just kept moving it up, level it, you adjust the block left and right. This thing is absolutely, completely precision. What's nice about this setup is there's no obstructions. I don't need to use this space underneath here for anything for the rest of the airplane. I have my center line in the middle. There's nothing in the way. I don't need to build boxes. All these pieces were cut, and like I say, it's just literally took me minutes. These here, now this is for 1/2-inch pipe clamps. 1/2-inch copper pipe, what they call CTS, copper tube size, is 5/8 outside diameter, which happens to be this. So these fit perfectly. Now remember, these Nibco brand clamps this came from a plumbing wholesale house. The garbage you buy at Home Depot is just absolutely junk. Those are thin gauge. Those will not work well. They're terrible. They're made out of like lightweight sheet metal. This is Nibco. I'm looking for a part number. Reference A-2529. They come in 100. If you go to a wholesale house, they will sell to the public. Just tell them you need 24 of them. You don't need to buy a box of 100. But these are really thick. And they literally, when they go on, they snap. Bunk. And they fit so perfectly. Now, obviously, it's a little wider than the 2x4, so you just toenail them in. Down here, I just toenailed these in. These are the same screws I used for the assembly of my table. They're number 6 screws, 1-inch long, fine thread. And that way you don't split the wood. That's it. So that's my layout. So now I'm going to start getting my top longer on. What else? I took off that piece of steel that I used to bolt that down, and so when I bent that, there's a nice little flat spot here, see, and that way I can put that bracket in without having a bend right at that joint. So it worked out how I wanted, which was good. I think in the first video or two I kind of explained that, and it did work out. So here we go, looking cool.